Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for attending our training for this evening. So my name is Abdul Haq. Joining us for this session today is my colleague Zen, Desmond, and also our CEO, Mr. Chiu. So without further ado, let's get into why we are here today, which is to discuss on the eTender for sub-packages. Okay. So for the objective for this evening is we will take a look at how BuildSpace manage on eTender for sub-tender packages. Then we will take a look at how to fill up tender in BuildSpace. And lastly, we will take a look at how to generate tender report for sub-packages. So for the flow on this evening, we will go to the import sub-packages first, where we will take a look at how to examine the BQ and then import the BQ into sub-packages module inside the system. Then we will see the tendering, where we prepare for tender and then calling for the tender itself. And then we will take the role as a subcontractor in this instance to price the tender. And lastly, we will go to generate tender report for the subcontractor. So let's take a look at how we do such that inside the system. So we first go to the system and log in as the main contractor for this instance. So click on sign in button. And inside the home page, we would see on the top side the to-do list separated into tendering to do and also the post-contract to do. And down here, we have the number of project by statuses. To the left, and depending on the state, the percentage, and to the right is based on the numerical form for design, calling tender, post-contract, and so on. So now let's take a look at the project that we are attempting to extract the sub-project from. Go to the project file tab over here, click on projects. And over here, take a look at the name here. We have the filtering function. So find the project that we are attempting to do the action, and straight away go to the BuildSpace Pro by clicking on the button over here. Go to the project builder. All right, so we is currently redirected to BuildSpace Pro. I'm sure some of you might remember last session, we talked on how to extract the sub-packages from the main BQ. So we pick up there by clicking on the sub-packages button over here. So click on the button and we have the sub-packages already extracted. So we can see the name of the sub-packages here, Concrete Works. If you double click, we can see the build. Double click again, the elements. And then only we will see the list of items inside these particular builds. So we can see the description on this side, the unit, alongside the total quantity, estimated rate, and also the estimated amount to the right side over here. So once we're satisfied with this BQ that been extracted, go back to sub-packages, and now we click on the assign subcontractor and proceed to export the particular file with estimation rates. Click, and please note that the download as name over here will be the name for the sub-packages. So this instance, we create this concrete work, click on download, and click on save file. So we have the file already downloaded inside our downloads file. So click close over here and go back to BuildSpace eProject. And over here, we can move on to the next part, which is the under the project dashboard. We can see here the sub-package button right here. So once we click on the sub-packages button, and we would see the list of sub-packages, because this we have yet to import the sub-packages into here. So it is a blank list. So what we can do next is we click on add over here and upload the sub-package that we already extracted before. So we can take a look at the downloads folder and click on open. So we have here the Concrete Works and proceed to click on save button. So you can see on the top over here, we see the sub-project for Concrete Works has successfully created. So now we can proceed to select the companies that will undertake this job, that will support this job. Take for example, if we require a QS consultant for this instance, we can proceed to click in the QS consultant here. If not, straight away click on the business unit and scroll down, click save. All right, so basically we have the project is being updated. And now we have the project dashboard for this particular sub packages. Like the main package or main project, we have the project progress checklist, the 6 steps that we need to complete in order for us to call for tender. So let's take a look at the steps by steps on how we can perform that action. We first go to the BQ preparation, so we can click on the view button over here, and it will redirect us to BuildSpace Pro. Over here again, we can see the build that we just exported from the main BQ. So we can double click on the build to examine it again, the elements. And here is the items. We can also perform some edits inside these items if we so require, maybe some last minute updates. And once we're happy with the BQ, we can straight away click publish to tender over here. So we click on publish to tender, click publish, click yes, and also yes. Right, so we have the BQ practically ready to be tendered. So we close this BuildSpace Pro and hit refresh on the project progress checklist. Over here, if you click drop down here, we have the BQ is already prepared and published to tendering. It's annotated tick over here, and also it's in green. So we can continue to perform the tender documents upload. We click on view over here. So basically in this process, we might want to upload some drawings for the subcontractor to tender. For them to have a much better idea to key in their rates for. So we go and proceed to upload a drawings for this instance. Click on add file, go to the drawings, okay, and proceed to add as many numbers of drawings that we require. And then click on the start upload. All right, so we have the list of drawings already uploaded and ready for the tenderers to take a look at. So completed with that, go back to project dashboard. And here we can take a look. We already completed the tender documents upload process. Now let's take a look at how to perform edit on the form of tender. Also click on the view button. And over here, we can take a look at one by one item on this section. But now we can skip it to clauses over here. Click on edit. And over here, we can perform any updates, or we can in fact add any text inside the clauses over here, like so, like that. We can delete it, or we can delete the clause altogether, or maybe we can add another fresh new one, like so, over here. Or if we need to rearrange the clauses, we can do so by clicking on the box over here and drag to the position that we require, and the system will automatically edit the numbers, running number over here, because we want to make it neat. Delete this one. All right, once we completed with the editing process, we can proceed to click on save button over here, and then proceed to click print to take a look at the form of tender for the last time before we can sign this off to the tenderer. Okay, once we're happy with the form, all right, say we're happy with the form, and then we can proceed to the project dashboard again. Inside project dashboard, we can see all 3 items has been ticked and all is in green, which means we can go to the next step, which is calling for tender. So recommendation of tender, list of tender, and calling tender go concurrently together. So we can first start with the recommendation of tender by clicking on the view button. Over here, we can proceed to enter the proposed date of calling tender. Take for example, like so, and then we can key in the proposed commercial tender closing date, like so, and key in the completion period. Take for example 12 months, and then key in the budget, maybe 1 million, like so. Target date of site possession, maybe August the 1st, and proceed to click on save button down here. So we can see here this status has been successfully saved for recommendation of tenderer. If we scroll down, we will see the selected contractors column here available for us to key in the assigned contractors that we wanted to participate for this tender. So we click on the assign contractor button and proceed to find the name of the contractor that already registered inside our system. Take for example, BuildSpace contractor. Maybe we wanted to assign contractor 8, 7, and 6 to undertake this job. Proceed to click on save. Once saved, you will see the list of contractors available down here. So what we can do next is we can send them out the expression of interest, and then from their side, they will either accept or not accept the expression of interest. And then once they click on accept, the status over here will automatically change to yes. So for this, otherwise, we can click on yes manually over here, or we can click on no if we so require. Yes, like that. And then we can proceed to click on submit. Wait for a few seconds and then click yes. So we have successfully saved the recommendation of tender information. Then we can see, observe to the right side of the recommendation of tenderer tab, we have the list of tenderer. So we click on list of tenderer and we can proceed to take note of everything inside this list. This list is basically similar to the one inside recommendation of tenderer, but we have the remarks column over here available if we wanted to add any remarks on this section. So we can proceed to click on submit if we already completed on this stage. Okay, click on yes. Now we can see the status has been successfully saved, and there is the calling tender button over here. So we click on the calling tender, also basically similar. We can take a final look at the date of calling tender and also commercial tender closing date to make sure that it is correct. Then we can proceed to click on the submit button over here. So click submit and then click yes. So right now, you can see the status here, successfully saved calling tender information. So basically, right now, the subcontractor can begin to key in their rates for the sub packages that we already offered for them to be tendered. So let's take a look at how the subcontractor would perform this task by first going into the system and logging in as a subcontractor for this instance. Take for example, I log in as BuildSpace Contractor 6, click on sign in. So they would be greeted with this home page. They have the numbers of project by statuses, also similar to the one we have on our page. So if we go to the projects button, so inside projects button, we can see the concrete works tab over here, the projects that we are currently tendering for. So we click on the concrete works. And then here, we can take a look at the main information to make sure that this is the correct project that we are tendering for, and then click on the submit tender button over here. But usually, once we wanted to key in the rates for the tender, we need to take a look at the drawings first. So we can find the drawings inside the documents tab over here. Click on documents, and inside here, we have the tender documents. If we scroll down, we can see the drawings file. So we click on drawings, click open. And here we can proceed to click on the action button and click download folder. So the system will automatically gather all of these list of drawings and compress it into zip file, and we will be available. These drawings will be available inside our machines once the download is complete. Say we already take a look at the drawings and we roughly know the pricing for each and every item. We can proceed to go to the submit tender, click on the tender button over here. So inside tender, we can proceed to click on the BQ editor over here. So once we click on the BQ editor, it will redirect us to BuildSpace Pro, but on a simplified version. Okay, over here, we can take a look at the bill. We double click on the bill, and then we can see the elements. And also inside elements, we have list of items similar to the one inside the ones prepared by the main contractor. So then we can proceed to key in the rates for every item. Take for example, for concrete, key in 350 per meter cube. Proceed to enter the price, everything here manually. And then for mild steel, maybe 3 ringgit and 50 cents. And then for high yield steel, maybe we prorate it at 4 ringgit for each sizes. And then for the formwork, maybe we assigned it at 42 ringgit per meter square, like so. So once we agree with the prices over here, we can go back to the elements, and here we can see the total cost that we already input inside the element frame. And if you go back to the project breakdown and click reload, so this is basically the tender that we will send to the tender rates that we will publish for the main contractor. Okay, then we can proceed to click on the final print final BQ with price. So this is especially useful for the purpose of keeping files, or maybe we wanted to have it organized in some way, maybe. So we have a record at least that tender that we are participated for. So once we're happy with the BQ, we can do next is click close and go to submit tender. Click on the submit tender and click on OK. So if we go back to BuildSpace E project, go to the submit tender, and here we can see the status here. We already submitted the tender based on the dates and also the time over here, and alongside here is the closing date. So basically this is the only action that needed to be completed by a subcontractor for this particular project. So if we now take the role back as a main contractor, we go back to the main contractor section over here and then click on the open tender. Here we can see the number of submitted tender here noted as 1 because only one contractor has been submitted for this particular project. And for the purpose of this project, we will cut short the tender calling date and we will end the tender calling date soon. Okay, say we need to end the tender calling, so we just click on the commercial tender closing date and perform the said action and click on extend button. So observe to your left, the tendering session has already been closed like so, and we can click on the open tender. For this instance, we can see the closing date over here, and also the status for this tender is not yet open. So what if we double click, if we click on the tender button over here, we can take a look. The contractor 6, 7, and 8, but the only contractor 6 has been submitted their rates, but not the 7 and 8. However, we still cannot see the rates that have been submitted by contractor 6. The reason being, on this side, if we click on the open tender, the status here for this tender is not yet open. So how we can open this tender? We first click on the assign button on the verifier side over here. Click on assign and then say I assign myself to open this particular tender. Click on submit. So this action actually give the person who responsible to verify this said action to key in their verification. So if we go back to the project dashboard, so inside project dashboard, we have the to-do list for the said action, like I mentioned just now. So we can proceed to click on the view button. So inside the view, we can either reject or confirm this action. So say we confirm. So we have successfully updated the tender status. If we go back to the tendering, click on the open tender, and we have the status is already open like so. You can also click on the verifier here to view the log take for example. Then we can see the who requested for verification and who approved the verification process, and also at the time over there. So we go back to the e-project, and over here we can proceed to click on the reference, the tender button over here. So now only we can see the BuildSpace Contractor 6 alongside their rates and also tender alternative, if any. So ladies and gentlemen, allow me to redirect you to another project that I've prepared earlier. That project consists of also three contractors, sorry, alongside their rates that they already published, and also inside closed tender stage. So give me a few minutes to take a look at the project. So this is the project that I've already prepared. So let's take a look at the tendering. Click on the open tender, go back to where we left off earlier. We can see here the number of submitted tender is 3. And if we click on the tender, now we can see the numbers of contractors here alongside their submitted dates and also the base tender amount and also the tender alternative. Okay, so once we completed with these 3 actions, we can proceed to click on the tender opening form down here, to click on print the tender opening form. Then we would have the list of contractors and alongside their rates, and we can proceed to print out this particular form. Okay, so the next step is we can take a look at the rates for every items that have been submitted by the contractors. Click on the tendering. So we go to BuildSpace Pro to take a look at the tendered rates for the contractors. So click on the view tenderer over here, and we can see the rates by the contractors available over here. So if we go into the build, into the elements, we have the list of items alongside, if we scroll to the right, the rates by the contractor depending on the items right over here. So another feature that BuildSpace has to offer, that one of the features that I love very much, is the historical rates over here. So say if we have previous project that uses the same description, roof beam over here. If we click on the historical rate over here, click on this column, we would have all of the previous projects that use the same description available inside here alongside the rates located right over here. Take for example here, the roof beam. I click on import and click on save. So the system will automatically import the rates for previous project right over here, and this rate is especially useful so that we can compare the rates that we have accepted and we have used for the previous project and compare it to the rates submitted by the contractor over here. We can proceed to enter the historical rates for the remaining item. Once completed, we can go back to the tendering to take a look at the project. So now, for the final part of the presentation, we will take a look at how do we generate a tender comparison report. So we go back to the BuildSpace e-project, and we can see here the tendering report button. So click on the tendering report. Then it will redirect us to BuildSpace Pro. So inside BuildSpace Pro, we can begin to click on the View Tenderers button, and then inside here, click on the tenderer setting, select all of the contractors that participated for this particular project, click Close, and go into the Builds, into the Elements, and over here, we can take a look at the items. So we tick on all items, click on Item Rates and Total, click on this one, click on Lowest to Highest. So here we have the list of items alongside the rates that have been posted by the contractors. But here, the special thing is we have this, say, BuildSpace contractor number 1. All of the rates is highlighted in green, while BuildSpace contractor 3 highlighted in red. This is to indicate that green means it is the lowest among the 3 contractors submitted, and the red is the exact opposite, which is the highest. So we can gather this information either by print it in Excel format. Say we click on print the Excel format, the PDF. So we have the PDF file over here. We can proceed to print it out like so, or we can export this file to Excel. So we download it. So we have the file already inside our machine. Let's take a look at the file. So this is the file exported from the system. Exactly the same, but this is inside our own computer. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the presentation. Thank you very much for joining us. I have prepared some polls over here. If you would kindly cast in your votes. So I will launch the poll right now. We would leave this poll for another few seconds. So please cast in your votes. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your feedback. Now we would open the session for a Q&A session. If you have any questions, please feel free to unmute yourself and give out your questions, and we will try to answer your questions. Or you can go ahead and enter the questions inside the question box, and we will read it out loud. So for those who require the recordings for this webinar, you may enter your emails inside the chat box, and we will send the recordings to you after the session. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We have another one poll that needed some answering. So please, would you cast in your votes right over here? It will be very helpful for us. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That was a very overwhelming response. So we click OK. So for those who answered yes, our support team will liaise with you after the session. And if you would like to take a look at the slide right now on the screen, we have the BuildSpace Professional Development events that is going on. It is the continuous effort from BuildSpace. If you would like to register yourself on the next webinar, please feel free to scan the QR code, or alternatively, you can go to buildspace.my/events to register yourself on your preferred session. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That's it for today. We hope to see you on the next future webinar series by BuildSpace. Have a good day and please stay healthy alongside your family. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.